Sophie Cunningham opens up on our podcast, and I love me some Sophie Cunningham's podcast because she always gonna give you something to talk about when she does a show on her podcast. So shout out to the show.
I can no longer keep quiet. Sophie Cunningham began her most recent episode in this manner, and that's when the internet went crazy. She didn't hesitate. She revealed identities, circumstances, and profound realities that no one in the WNBA ever dared to publicly discuss. Sophie appears to be finished now. The league, politics, and perhaps even a fever are all over. However, everything changes when you hear what she said about Caitlin Clark. Do you still have faith in Sophie, the source who recently revealed the WNBA's Caitlin Clark? If you agree with her, please comment. The courageous and vocal WNBA player Sophie Cunningham, who is well known for her devotion to Caitlin Clark and her intense love for the game, has once again delivered a bombshell.
And she might be playing elsewhere, not with the Indiana Fever next season.
Are you mourning, like, leaving that apartment?
Honestly, kind of sad. It's like leaving a little era and like the house I had, but it was so cute and I made it really homey and cozy. Spent way too much money like furnishing it. Yeah, I would agree with you, but then a week and a half later, I got told I was being traded, and so
That part's tough. That part.
yeah.
Jesus.
But
Oh, sorry. I should
I
say if you're a pro athlete, actually do not decorate your house until you have a fucking 3-year contract in front of you.
Do you still trust Sophie, the person who recently disclosed Caitlin Clark of the WNBA? Please leave a remark if you concur with her. Sophie Cunningham, a brave and outspoken WNBA player who is well known for her passion for the game and her commitment to Caitlin Clark, has once again dropped a bombshell. Sophie expressed it rather simply. I'm quitting this league. In a system that destroys the spirit of its own players, I cannot live. The impact of their remarks was like thunder. She described the WNBA as poisonous, unjust, and internally compromised. She revealed the disparate treatment, disregard, marginalization, and silencing of athletes who back Caitlin Clark. Sophie went on. The fact that America adores Caitlin Clark is intolerable to them. Her popularity is too much for them to manage, and anybody who supports her is singled out.
The next team I play for, I want a bigger contract, so then I can buy a house and be homey and cozy.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she wants to be able to buy a house where she goes next year. I don't listen, man. Is Sophie Cunningham worth a max contract to y'all? Now, I know we love, so look, she the one that stood up for Caitlin Clark and was down to fight. So I'm not going to be mad at Sophie Cunningham getting paid. I want you to think about if you feel like she's worth a max contract.
Wow. That's crazy. That could be the Liberty. It could be New York City. It could also be the Lynx, and it could be Minneapolis. Like, you just don't know.
It could be anywhere.
Comments from fans began to pour in, referring to the WNBA as a dying ship. Many claimed that Sophie was the only one with the courage to express what everyone already knew. Sophie may be departing the Indiana Fever before the 2026 season, according to fast-moving rumors. Insiders connected to the Fever organization claim that the WNBA commissioner's office is in a panic because of Sophie's recent actions. Meetings, cautions, and pleas for quiet. However, Sophie informed her podcast listeners that she is not giving up. You can locate me, prohibit me, or put me on a blacklist, but you can't silence me. Even more startling, Sophie implied that other players are getting ready to speak up as well. I'm not alone, she remarked. You'll see shortly.
It sounds like the Indiana Fever are not going to keep Sophie Cunningham. It does sound like the Fever are not going to keep her. From her podcast, a lot of the time she'd been mentioning the Fever, and in the most recent podcast, she did not mention the Fever.
I think Sophie needs to be compensated handsomely. By the way, I think she needs to get paid a lot of money, but in terms of her getting like a max or something like that, I wouldn't be able to do that. If she's demanding a max, I'm okay with the Fever moving on. I gotta keep it real with you. I think Lexi should get paid more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm be real. I think they should be around the same ballpark, but yeah, nah.
Players are allegedly upset with Caitlin Clark's treatment behind closed doors. From distorted media narratives to persistent fouls, Sophie is standing just next Caitlin. "You can't do anything to Caitlin Clark," she declared. "Anyone attempting to assist her cannot be stopped." Forget it. Online fans refer to it as the curse of fever. Controversy ensues each time a player enters the frenzy. Sophie Cunningham is already hinting at her departure, following conflict with coaches, pressure from the league, and unjust publicity. There is anarchy. However, Sophie asserts that it's design rather than poor luck. They oppose Caitlin Clark's victory. According to Sophie, they aim to emotionally and mentally destroy her, just as they did with a lot of other people. Even her worst detractors were astounded by such remarks. Even worse, there are rumors that the league may punish Sophie once more for openly harming the league's reputation. Sophie, though, is indifferent. She said, "If telling the truth damages your image, maybe your image is the problem." Just one line is trending worldwide.
This is the star power that the league has needed, but once they got it, they did not know how to handle it. They fought it. They have done nothing but fight this. This is the star power that you guys have been looking for until Kathy Engelbert is gone. I believe this is also their way of getting Kathy Engelbert out. They are not entertaining the negotiations. So if they're basically saying, hey, they want Kathy Engelbert to get fired.
Everyone is now wondering, where does Sophie go from here? There are rumors that Sophie would work for a private training initiative, join a new sports media platform, or perhaps travel abroad to play internationally, where she would have more autonomy. What about Caitlin Clark? "I will always support Sophie," as she made clear. Always. She stated, "Caitlin deserves respect, not politics." Additionally, she has not been shielded by the WNBA. "That's the last straw. You don't deserve your stars if you can't protect them," Sophie said. The league's silence now speaks louder than any words. Here we are, then. The WNBA is blazing once more. The supporters are enraged. The commissioner doesn't say anything. The wall of dread has been formally breached by Sophie Cunningham. Whatever occurs next, one thing is certain. She is no longer terrified. Additionally, it might be the last spark that transforms Caitlin Clark's life and the future of women's basketball if she actually overcomes the fever in the WNBA. Your ideas. Can the WNBA be rescued? Or should Sophie permanently depart the league? This is not the end of the tale, so please share your opinions below. Not even near.